Now, I got a question from somebody the other day who's kind of struggling. Like right now, they are trying to get their business together. They know all of the tools you could possibly know. In fact, they've got 3 of my courses, 3 of the courses that I sell on how to build an Amazon business, but they don't know how to get themselves in the right state of mind to actually take action and get unbelievable results using the courses, using the tools, the techniques, all the mechanical stuff, the nuts and bolts of how you put a business together. They know all that stuff, but they don't know how to use it and actually motivate themselves to take action and turn it into a real life-changing business for them and create the income they want. Now, I know there's a load of other people out there who are in this exact same situation. You're a course junkie, you've bought loads of courses, maybe you've even got a coach to help you. You've watched all the YouTube videos, you know all the theory, all the textbook stuff comes to you really, really easily. But for some reason, you don't have the results to actually support all of this stuff. So what I want to do in this video is talk to you a little bit about motivation and what can build motivation inside you to actually help you put all this stuff together. So first of all, I think the first thing you need to do before you even start taking action in your business is to think to yourself, why am I doing this? Why did I buy this course in the first place? When I saw the webinar or I saw the sales letter or the video, why did I buy and add this thing to my cart and actually take this video home? And want to buy the course. And once we've decided that, we can start using that as a foundation to build momentum for you, to start building your motivation and get you to start taking action. Right now, your why is going to be broken up into several different categories. Like the reason I build a business, for example, is because I don't want to be answering to anyone. I don't want someone telling me what to do, and then I have to listen to them to get my paycheck. I hate that idea. It makes me feel so unfulfilled, so that's one of the reasons. Another reason is because I want to have as much money as I can. Like, I feel like I'm a really hard worker, so I deserve to be compensated for the amount of work I put in, and I feel like a job isn't going to get me there. I feel like I want to be location independent. I want to be able to travel wherever I want, whenever I want. Like when I was younger, I used to look up in the sky, see planes going over my head and think, man, why can't I just buy a ticket and jump on a plane tomorrow? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? You know, and I think loads of other people actually are thinking that as well, but they repress it. They think to themselves, well, oh, it's a stupid thought. You know, I'll just go back to the office and beg my boss for some time off. You know, so those are my reasons. And also, obviously, I had the whole thing going on with my girlfriend where we were separated and I wanted us to be back together. So they're my main reasons. But really, I think on a deeper level, they aren't what's going to pull you to actually move mountains in your business. They're not really what's going to allow you to really reach unbelievable heights. So let me just take a little while to describe to you how I think motivation is actually broken down. And I think there is almost like a science to this from what I've observed and from a lot of other teachers that talk about this stuff. I think there is a science to it. I don't know. You know, it's not been. There's no studies on it or anything, but this stuff just seems to make sense to me. So if it makes sense to you, then all the better. So I think there's 3 levels of motivation. Okay, there's 3 sort of tiers, if you will, and these tiers all will represent different levels of that fuel, that energy you have inside you to actually want to go out there and take action and make things happen. And the lower tiers will enable you to do certain things, and the higher tier will enable you to do pretty much anything you want. So let me just go through what these tiers are, and then hopefully you'll be able to draw from them when you need to and realize that they're all valid, but if you can draw from the higher tiers, it will be more sustainable and get you more success in the long run. Okay, so the lower tier, the bottom tier of motivation, all comes from ego. Anything that's superficial. Things like, I want to prove to all the people that said I couldn't do it that I could do it. I want to be famous. That's lower tier, because I want to be, better than other people maybe, or significant. Another lower tier thing could be something like revenge, like I want to get back at people, or anything that's kind of superficial and to do with the ego. That's lower tier motivation. Now, this motivation can actually be really useful. Like if, I don't know, someone annoys you because they say that your business plan doesn't work and you want to really just prove them wrong and put all your energy into it and make them, show them, prove to them that they're wrong, that can give you a spike of energy, like definitely. But it only lasts so long. Okay, sorry, my hair's been all crazy. It only lasts so long. It's only ever going to be a spike. Okay, it's going to be like, maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But you'll find if you live and feed off this level of motivation, as a lot of people do, you're not going to get that much fulfillment. When you achieve your goals, it's going to feel a little bit empty. It's going to feel a little bit kind of flaccid, to use such a graphic word, right? It's not going to feel good overall. So you can't live in that space. A lot of people do, but it doesn't last. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 is mid-level motivation, right? And I think this is where, to be honest with you, most people live. Even really, really successful people, in the top 10% live in this area. Mid-tier motivation is things like, I love the fact that I can get taxis anywhere I want without having to worry about the money, right? Practical stuff. I can travel anywhere. I wanted to reunite with my girlfriend. That's pretty mid-tier stuff. Practical things that do definitely make your life easier. And these are a lot of the things that people actually focus on. Like, I want to be able to drive an awesome car. I want to have a big house. And it's definitely valid. And this stuff can definitely sustain you. I know a lot of people who always think about these practical things and the mid-level tier 2 motivation stuff, and they use it and they set their goals based on this stuff. 2017, next year, I want to have a bigger house by the end of the year. So they'll put all their energy in, and it will sustain them, and they'll get quite good house. They'll get quite good results, and usually they'll hit their goals and they'll be able to go and do that. Or it might be something like, I want to build an income up to the point where I can leave my job, and that's a great goal. Definitely sustainable. You can definitely get unbelievable results with it. Tier 2 motivation is unbelievably powerful. And I think a lot of people live there, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you stay there for your whole life, you'll definitely get success. I can't see how it would go wrong, because you will be able to create the life you want, and that's really motivating to be able to do that. But you won't actually tap into your limitless potential as a human being if you stay in tier 2 motivation. I think really, to break boundaries, to move mountains, and to achieve things that most people never achieve in their lives, you have to delve into tier 3 motivation. Okay, this is way up there with the kind of levels of motivation and energy pools that really great people would have been diving into. People like Martin Luther King, anybody you think that changed the world, like Rosa Parks, said, no, I will not move from this seat in the bus. People like Nelson Mandela, who went to prison for 50 odd years, and even though he was locked away for something, a crime that he didn't do anything wrong, he still was motivated to stay on his cause. What kind of things do you need to be focusing on to tap into this tier 3 motivation, move mountains, have the ability to earn whatever money you want to earn, achieve whatever you want to achieve? I think even maybe doing evil stuff. People who are twisted in the head probably were tapping into tier 3 motivation, but to do evil, just because this stuff is so unbelievably powerful. So the question is, what is this? What is up there? How do you tap into this stuff? Well, I think this is if you were to be kind of spiritual about it, it's like your higher self. What would your higher self want? Maybe goals like, I want to save humanity, I want to feed the world, or I want to solve water problems, or I want to improve the quality of life for millions of people. Anything that really, I think the main thing that defines a tier 3 motivation is something that brings you out of yourself. Something that doesn't really just involve you, but actually would help the planet, would help everyone And if you can tap into this motivation, you will be able to do pretty much anything. I think people like Tony Robbins are tapping into this, and it is more than just, he's not just thinking, next year I want to get a bigger house. He's thinking next year I want to help 20 million people achieve their goals. He wants to feed millions of people on Thanksgiving, etc., etc. And I think it's because he's tapping in to that tier 3 motivation. Take yourself out of the equation. Look at the bigger picture. What would your higher self aspire to be, aspire to achieve? That stuff is limitless. I have a true belief that stuff is limitless just because of the evidence that's out there. I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff by any means, but hopefully you can use some of this information to actually understand yourself a little better if it makes sense to you. And then you can tap into any tier of this motivation to use that as energy to take action, to get that stuff done. One really awesome idea is just write things down. Like I have a notebook, I don't have it with me right now, but it is full of just random scribblings, things that will motivate me to fill out my tax return because I feel so bored with taxes, right? I need to motivate myself to do that. Well, I'll write down all the reasons why it would benefit me to do that. And creating things like a vision board with your goal, your vision for the future can be very powerful. And just really tapping into that energy. Once you've hit that place and you've realized why you're doing things, then it will be a lot easier to go ahead, start creating, start taking action, whatever courses you've bought, and actually then you'll start to see results. If it wasn't for my girlfriend being kicked out of the country to motivate me to want to build a business, if it wasn't for the fact that I was sick and tired of being in 9-to-5 jobs, or it wasn't even 9-to-5, at one point I was working 4 p.m. till 4 a.m. If I wasn't sick and tired of that, if I wasn't sick and tired of being broke, I never would have been motivated to go out and actually create a business that changed everything. So take a look at what you're absolutely sick of right now. Take a look at the tiers of motivation. What motivates you? What pulls you? Why did you buy that course in the beginning? Can you tap into that energy again to create goals for yourself next year and actually really start to crush it using whatever course you've bought? Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ollie, and hit subscribe, by the way. I'm going to be doing loads more of these videos, Q&A videos, random vlogs and stuff to try and help you out. And have an awesome day. Whatever you do, keep believing.